Hello there. This is Music Man 0150, also known as Gary. And this is a reply to the gentleman that demonstrated the CTC-48 color television set. I wanted to reply letting him know and anybody else know that may have a CTC-48 television that I used to have one myself. Actually, it was owned by my parents, and then when they bought a new TV, then I sort of inherited that particular one, and just wanted to give you a little description on what the one I had was like, to see if any of you that still have a CTC-48 television set relates or is exactly like what you have. The one that I ended up inheriting was designed where the cabinet had 4 legs. It stood on 4 legs. So if you wanted to put a video game system underneath the TV, you could slide it right underneath the TV set. And then the ACM, the AFT, the volume and the brightness controls, they were on the top right hand corner where the where normally the UHF and VHF dials are. On the gentleman's TV that he demonstrated, the volume and the brightness were on the pull-out door, whereas the TV I had, as I said, the volume and brightness were up at the top on the upper right hand corner when you're looking at the set from to the front. The UHF number indicator, channel indicator, was precise. So if you were on 21, it would say 21. If you were on 33, it would say 33, and so on. There was also a third pilot lamp in the middle between the VHF indicator and the UHF indicator. The middle pilot lamp displayed a green ACM, which indicated that the automatic color system was turned on. It did have the pull-out door where you would adjust the contrast, the color, the tint, the horizontal, vertical, tone, and sharpness adjustments. So that was the same as the one that the gentleman demonstrated on his. The other feature that the TV I had was that on the back you can adjust the background colors, the red, green, and blue, if it was out of balance, without taking the back cover off. And it also had a pull-out service switch for adjusting the color bias. The problem that it had, where I finally had to almost give up on it, was that the high voltage tripler went out on it. And fortunately, because it was hard to get a new part for that TV, being that it was over 20 years old, or almost 20 years old, but actually it was my instructor that I took electronics from in high school. He had a similar U-shaped chassis with a high voltage tripler on it, and so he let me have that high voltage tripler to see if I could get my set working. And it did work to a certain extent, except the picture on both sides was squashed a little bit. So you had a black line on the left and you had a black line on the right. But the color was good at the time, and it was picking up UHF channels with no antenna whatsoever, and it was real clear. but we couldn't get I couldn't get the picture to spread out the way it should have been. And when I tried to adjust the horizontal width to fix the problem, instead of the picture lengthening like it should have, it would almost seem like that I was adjusting the horizontal hold control, then turning it further, it would blacken out the screen. In other words, the entire picture would just go out. And then when I reversed it back, then the picture came back, but it was still squashed. So I'm not sure if the tripler was the wrong tripler, or if the wiring was wrong, or if the tripler itself that I was attempting to use was also bad. I do not recall the chassis number offhand, so if the gentleman has any references on those U-shaped chassis like the CTC-48, if you can send me a link with the model numbers, then I might be able to recall what chassis number it might have been. I think it was a 49 or 59 or 53. I can't remember because it was many years ago. It was about 20 some years ago that I attempted this task. My grandfather also had a CTC-48 exactly like the one I just described, but the problem on that one, believe it or not, the blue cards would always go bad. A blue card, you know, the little circuit board that allows the colors to come in properly, those plug-in boards, well, the blue one would always go bad on it. Maybe after a period of months, the blue would go bad. So I'm not sure what could cause that, because if I ever run into another CTC-48 like what I just described, and it might have the same problem, I'd be curious to know how to diagnose that problem, so then I don't keep losing color cards all the time. So please respond to this if you can. It would be greatly appreciated, because I'm always fascinated by old TVs and radios and all kinds of old vintage equipment. And with the way the technology's going today, it's actually nice to try to keep old vintage equipment running because of the history behind it. So please do what you can, and send replies or video responses if it's easier. So until next time, this is MusicMan0150 signing off, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.